It was the second week of December when I first heard the whispers. They said Amaka had gone missing. No one had seen her in 3 days. The last place anyone remembered her being was at a bus station, dressed in bright red, a designer handbag slung over her shoulder. I knew Amaka. Everyone in our neighborhood did. She was the kind of girl who always wanted more. She dreamed big, too big, especially during Christmas. The year before, she told me, "This Christmas, I'm driving home in a car. I can't be the only one showing up empty-handed again." I didn't think much of it then. Amaka liked to talk big, but I never imagined how far she would go. How it all started. Amaka grew up in our small town, but she always felt like she didn't belong. Her Instagram was filled with pictures of designer clothes, handbags, and vacations she couldn't afford. "Christmas is for showing people you've made it," she would say. Every year, she planned to return to the village, and every year she was disappointed. But this year was different. This year, Amaka was determined. She wanted the car. She wanted the clothes. She wanted the attention. And she didn't care how she got it. It was a hot afternoon in December when I saw Amaka at the market. She stood by a stall, running her hands over expensive lace fabric, the type only wealthy women bought for weddings or special occasions. The fabric shimmered under the sun, but I knew from the way she lingered that she couldn't afford it. "Amaka, you want so Christmas dress we go blind people eye?" I teased, stepping up beside her. She laughed lightly, but it didn't reach her eyes. "Abeg, leave that talk. This year, Christmas go different. I dey plan big things." I arched my brow. "With which money?" She flashed a playful smile, but her fingers tightened around the fabric. "God go provide," she said with a wink, but her eyes betrayed her. I saw it clearly. The worry swimming beneath the surface. Desperation sat in the corner of her smile. A week later, I spotted her again, leaning against the bus stop pole, biting her nails. She looked like someone waiting for news that refused to come. Her hair was neatly done in fresh braids, but there was something restless about the way she kept shifting her weight from one foot to the other. I crossed over to meet her. "Amaka, you dey restless. Wetin happen?" She glanced at me, then looked away quickly. "Nothing, I just dey think." I smiled. "I hear say you dey find one rich man wey go dash you money." I meant it as a joke, but the way she stiffened made me pause. She shrugged. "If I no hustle, who go hustle for me? Christmas no dey cheap." Her voice carried a bitterness I hadn't noticed before. I didn't push further, but something fell off. It wasn't long before the market was buzzing with rumors. They said Amaka had met a man online, a big man from Lagos. People whispered about it over bowls of rice and stew. Some said she was lucky, while others shook their heads knowingly. I finally asked her one day as she sat behind a small stall selling second-hand clothes, "Amaka, na true say you want travel to see the man you just meet online?" She didn't look up. "He say if I come, he go give me 500,000. I stared at her. 500K, just like that. She nodded, folding some shirts that no one had bought all day. "You believe Am? What if he's not real?" I asked carefully. "You too dey fear," she said, brushing it off. "I know they do anything bad. I just need small money to make my Christmas loud." She laughed softly, but there was something fragile about the way she held her shoulders. Amaka left on a Wednesday morning. She told her younger sister she would be back by the weekend, but by Friday evening, there was no sign of her. Her phone rang endlessly on Thursday, but by Friday afternoon, it was switched off. By Saturday, her family was knocking on doors, calling friends, and asking questions no one had answers to. She said she did go Lagos. Her sister whispered to me, eyes red from crying. The police got involved, but the details were slim. The address she had mentioned led to an old warehouse, not the luxury apartment she had described to her cousin. The story would have ended there if not for a taxi driver who stopped outside the same warehouse late Sunday night. He found Amaka, barefoot and trembling, wrapped in nothing but a thin bedsheet. Her eyes darted like someone expecting shadows to leap from the dark. He recognized her from the bus station earlier that week and took her to the police station. I visited Amaka days later when she returned home. She sat quietly under the mango tree in her compound, looking at the dirt beneath her feet. She had lost weight, and there was a dullness in her eyes that hadn't been there before. She finally spoke after a long silence. "The man no be ordinary man," she whispered. I leaned closer, listening carefully. "He tell me, make I come. When I reach, the house stay empty. He lock door say I go stay till morning. I no sleep. Something just they tell me make I no close eye." Her voice broke. "Early morning, I try run, but he block the door. He say make I no worry. Say him they prepare something for me. Now that time I know say something no right." I felt my stomach twist. She wiped her eyes. "I dey lucky. Na taxi man save me. He say he see plenty girls enter that place before, but them no they come out." Amaka returned with no shopping bags, no designer shoes or gold jewelry. There was no new car parked outside her father's house. She returned with nothing but her life. When I met her again the next day at her gate, she looked like someone who had walked through fire. "I don't learn," she said softly, gripping the handle of the rusted gate. "I almost no come back. All because I want show off for Christmas." She forced a weak smile, but I could see the weight she carried. And as she walked inside, I realized that sometimes the biggest lessons are the ones that strip us of everything except what truly matters. Amaka's story spread through the town. People whispered about how close she had come to losing everything. Christmas isn't about showing off. It's not about impressing people or proving a point. Sometimes the desire to outshine others can lead us into the darkest places. Now, every Christmas, Amaka helps organize small charity drives in our community. She wears simple clothes and tells her story to anyone who will listen. If this story touched you, take a moment to reflect. This Christmas, let's focus on gratitude, not appearances. Share this story with someone who needs to hear it. And if you're new here, subscribe for more real-life stories that remind us of what truly matters. Stay safe, stay grounded, and remember, sometimes the greatest gift is simply making it home.